Hello everybody and welcome back to another Oscar prediction video where today I will be taking a look at the category of Best Sound. Now, we are about a week away from the Academy Awards, which means these categories are getting tighter and tighter. With each new video I do, I'm a little bit less certain about the winner. And this particular category, while there is one film that's taken the majority of important precursors, it could very easily be an upset. I am really unsure about this category, but it's down to the wire now, and I'm gonna have to make a final call. At least this category is not as tricky as some of the ones that are coming up in a little bit. Very anxious about some of the major acting prizes, but for now, let's take a look, or rather, let's take a listen at the nominees for Best Sound. Fifth most likely to win is Frankenstein. So, Frankenstein is obviously a very beloved film this year, nominated for 9 Academy Awards, so this nomination makes a lot of sense. Although, in the lead up to the nominations happening, a lot of people were unsure about whether it would actually make the final 5, because the sound work in this film, I'm not going to say it's unimpressive, but there's only really certain select moments where the sound really stands out. Obviously, the big one being the creature coming to life scene, which is what I made sure to use. But outside of a few moments of action, a few moments on the ship, most of the film is relatively low-key when it comes to sound. And so I think when people are voting in this category, it really is just the one scene of the creature coming to life that people are going to be thinking of, and it's a good scene, but I don't know if it's enough to really carry the movie to a Best Sound win, especially when you consider everything else that is up in this category that has a lot of extended scenes of really intricate sound work. So this is a solid nomination. I don't hate it, but I think it's very unlikely to win given the competition. Fourth most likely to win is Seurat. So, Seurat is a movie I finally caught up with. I just saw it in theaters today, and now I only have 3 Oscar-nominated movies that I have not watched in completion, those being Viva Verdi, Cutting Through Rocks, and Kokuho. Everything else I've seen. So, as for Seurat's nomination in this category, it does make a lot of sense when you see the movie, especially when you see it on the big screen. The rave scenes that open up the film, the sound work, it's hard to get across in just the clip, but it really does feel like the entire theater is vibrating. It feels like when you're up close, the sound is just too much to ignore, and even when you're far away, it feels like it's always coming, and the beat feels like an earthquake or an explosion. Now, granted, these rave scenes only make up a small chunk of the film, but I do think the scenes away from the rave, particularly the climax of the movie, there is some very effective, dare I say, explosive uses of sound. The sound work in this film is very strong. It is a deserving nominee. Will it be a deserving winner? I don't think it's gonna happen. And the main reason for saying that is this is the only film in the lineup that is not also up for Best Picture, which does mean it's less well seen. I was going by that stat of, oh, new rule change, Oscar voters have to watch all the nominees, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. And even if it is, the sound work, all the most prominent sound work in the film is in the beginning, and much like Frankenstein, in select moments. There are moments of quiet throughout the film that could hurt it. The way the sound is utilized in those select moments is very, very impactful, and there could be some voters who go out on a limb for it. But because the film itself is not as widely seen and not as widely loved as the other films in this category, I think it would be very, very unlikely for it to overcome that. So, really strong nomination. I'm happy it's here, but I don't think it has a very good chance at winning. Third most likely to win is One Battle After Another. So this is a bit of an interesting example because depending on how you want to argue, you could say that One Battle After Another is an action movie. You could also say it's a drama with certain action set pieces. Either way, the sound work in the film is fantastic with some really, really strong, again, selective moments that really do stand out. A lot of it is just really intricate sound mixing. I think if we still had two separate sound categories, maybe it could play really, really well in sound mixing because the dialogue stuff is all done really, really well. Sound editing, a bit less obvious, but there are some really, really strong moments, like some of the action set pieces that happen in the film. This is very strong, solid work, but I don't think it stands enough. I don't think it stands out enough when you compare it to the top two in this category. I think this is a very, very solid number 3. And if One Battle does end up winning picture, and it could potentially end up taking a bunch of things, then I guess sound is still on the table. But at the moment, I do think it's number 3. Second most likely to win is Sinners.
Y'all get decent, I'm coming in. Y'all in here playing around some. Fuck.
Smoke. It's not what it looks like. We're gonna kill every last one of you.
So this movie is in an interesting position because it's a top 2 Best Picture contender of the year, could have a very, very, very good night. It is the most nominated movie of all time. And if you just look at what it has in terms of sound showcase, it definitely has more than the other 3 movies, simply because it is partially a musical. The musical numbers in this film are so showy in how it uses sound, but it also has action, it has gunshots, and has vampire sound effects, and dialogue that has to be mixed very well too. I think everything that goes into this movie from a sonic perspective is really, really, really well done, and it would be a deserving winner. It would be a winner that makes sense. And really, the only reason why I'm not going for it is because it doesn't have any of the big major precursors. It does have some critics awards, which is certainly not nothing. And I do think the type of movie it is could mean this could very, very easily happen. Part of me is wondering how many awards Sinners is going to win on the night, and if it overperforms, this would 100% be a very easy win for it to pick up. And yet, I am choosing to go with the stats on this one. Number 1 most likely to win, in my opinion, is F1.
Duffy, Joe
Joshua, Sonny says wait for the straight. The straight into turn 1.
I'm right there. I'm going.
Pierce is right on the gearbox of Verstappen down the back straight at over 200 miles an hour.
See an opening. Going for it.
The rookie attacks in 11.
No. Pierce pulls alongside the Red Bull. He's wheels ahead for the first time ever.
So, this is probably the movie I would vote for in this category. It is admittedly close between this, Sinners, as well as Surratt. One Battle had really good sound design too. Sorry, Frankenstein. But my inclination is to vote for this film. And maybe I'm using some very simplistic thinking here, but fast cars go vroom vroom. Okay? It might sound easy, but it is not easy to do. The sound designers of this film really, really did an excellent job in making these racing scenes feel as immersive as possible, especially when you have to take into consideration how difficult it was to get these scenes with the actors not being in the real races as they were happening, with a lot of visual effects works that had to be done, and a lot of the editing back and forth between the racers in the car and the commentators and the people outside the car and the Hans Zimmer score. There's a lot of really, really impressive effects work done, and it won BAFTA and it won Critics' Choice. That's enough for me. I think once a movie takes those two prizes, the fact that this movie was loved enough to get into Best Picture, I think really, really says it all. If it wasn't in Best Picture, then I probably would go for Sinners, but it has everything. It has all the main precursors. It's exactly the type of film that they go for in this category, so it just makes too much sense not to do it. I do think Sinners would also make a lot of sense if it happened, if that movie were to really overperform. If Sinners did end up winning Best Sound, then that would be a really big indication that it's going to have a very big night. But, as of right now, my official prediction in this category is F1. So thank you very much for watching, and tune in next time when I will be taking a look at the category of Best Cinematography. See you then.